Welcome back, everyone. This is Podcast English Class, and I'm Mike.
And I'm Jessica. Thank you for choosing to spend a little time with us. We always love having you here.
Jessica, can I ask you something? If someone asked you, what did you do yesterday? Would the answer come naturally, or would you start thinking about grammar first?
That's such a good question, Mike. I think a lot of English learners know exactly what they did yesterday, but the moment they have to say it in English, all the words seem to disappear.
That reminds me of something that happened a few days ago. I was checking my mailbox when my neighbor smiled and asked me that exact question. Before I knew it, I was talking about making breakfast, walking to a little cafe nearby, reading a book in the afternoon, and even the funny dog I met on the way home. It wasn't an exciting day at all, but somehow our conversation lasted almost 10 minutes.
I love that story because it proves something important. Ordinary days are full of things to talk about. You don't need to travel the world or have an amazing adventure. Sometimes, making coffee, taking a walk, or meeting a friendly neighbor is more than enough to keep a conversation going.
And that's exactly what we're going to explore today. We'll practice talking about yesterday, learn some of the most useful past tense verbs in everyday English, and discover how small moments can become confident conversations.
While you're listening, think about your own yesterday. Where did you go? Who did you spend time with? What made you smile, even for a moment? By the end of today's episode, you'll have everything you need to tell that story in English.
So make yourself comfortable, enjoy the conversation, and let's get started. Jessica, have you noticed that one simple question can start a really nice conversation?
Which question are you thinking about?
What did you do yesterday? People ask it all the time, but many English learners suddenly become nervous.
That's true. They know exactly what they did, but they spend too much time thinking about grammar instead of just answering.
I had that experience with a friend recently. We met at a coffee shop and he asked me about my day. At first I thought I didn't have anything interesting to say. Then I started talking about making breakfast, answering some emails, taking a short walk, and reading a few chapters of a book. Before I knew it, we'd been talking for several minutes.
I like that story because it shows that ordinary days are full of conversation topics. You don't need a surprise or a big event to keep a conversation going.
Exactly. The best answer is usually the simplest one. Just tell your story in the order it happened.
For example, you could say, yesterday I got up at 7. I made breakfast, went to work, had lunch with a colleague, and watched a movie in the evening. That's already a clear and complete answer.
And notice that every sentence gives the other person something to ask about. They might ask what you ate where you worked or what movie you watched.
That's how real conversations grow. One small detail often leads to another question, and before long, you're talking naturally.
The good news is that you already have plenty of ideas to practice with. Every yesterday is different, even if it feels like a normal day.
So while you're listening today, think about your own yesterday. What did you do in the morning? Where did you go? Who did you talk to?
Don't worry about making your story perfect. Focus on sharing real experiences, and the grammar will become easier with practice.
Let's begin with some simple examples and build your confidence step by step.
Speaking of yesterday, it's surprising how many useful verbs we can practice with just one day.
That's true. From the moment you wake up until you go to bed, you're using English without even realizing it.
Yesterday morning, for example, I woke up a little earlier than usual because I wanted to exercise before work.
Did you actually exercise, or did you change your mind?
I did. I went for a short walk around my neighborhood. After that, I made breakfast and enjoyed a cup of coffee while reading the news.
That already gives us several useful past tense verbs. Woke up, went, made, enjoyed, and read.
Exactly. And none of those activities were unusual. They were just part of a normal morning.
That's why daily routines are perfect for learning. They're easy to remember because they really happened.
In the afternoon, I worked from home for a few hours. Then I called my sister to see how she was doing. We talked much longer than I expected.
I had a similar afternoon. I visited a small bookstore near my apartment. I didn't buy anything, but I spent almost an hour looking at different books.
That sounds relaxing. Sometimes window shopping is just as enjoyable as buying something.
I agree. And again, we've used more useful verbs: worked, called, talked, visited, bought, and spent.
When learners hear these verbs in real stories, they're much easier to remember than if they only study a list.
Exactly. You can connect each verb to a real memory, and that makes a big difference.
By the evening, I felt tired, so I cooked a simple dinner, watched one episode of my favorite series, and went to bed before 11.
My evening was even quieter. I listened to music, answered a few messages, and planned my schedule for today.
See how many examples we found just by talking about one ordinary day.
That's the key. Your own daily life already gives you plenty of chances to practice English.
So after this episode, try telling someone about your yesterday. Start with the morning, continue with the afternoon, and finish with the evening.
You don't need a perfect story. A real one is always easier to tell.
We've talked about using daily stories to practice English, but there's another reason this method works so well.
You mean because we're learning grammar through real conversations instead of studying long rules?
Exactly. Think about how children learn their first language. They hear people talking every day before they ever learn grammar terms.
That's a good point. When you hear the same sentence patterns again and again, they begin to sound natural.
I remember helping my nephew with his English homework. He kept asking me, why is it went instead of goed? I could have explained the grammar, but instead we started talking about his weekend. He said, I went to the park. I went to my grandmother's house. I went shopping with my dad. After saying it several times, he stopped asking and simply used the correct word.
I love that example. Sometimes hearing and using a word many times helps more than reading a grammar rule.
Of course, grammar is still important. It helps us understand why sentences are correct.
Yes, but it's much easier to remember the rule after you've already seen it in real situations.
That's why it's helpful to listen first and study second. When you hear people talking naturally, the patterns become familiar.
Then, when someone explains the grammar, you think, oh, I've heard that before. It doesn't feel completely new.
The same thing happens with regular and irregular verbs. At first, they seem difficult, but after enough practice, words like made, went, ate, and saw become part of your everyday vocabulary.
And don't worry if you forget one sometimes. Everyone does, especially when they're speaking quickly.
The important thing is to keep talking. Every conversation gives you another chance to improve.
So don't wait until your grammar feels perfect. Start with simple stories, listen carefully, and let the language become more familiar little by little.
You'll probably be surprised by how much progress you make just by talking about real experiences.
And the more often you do it, the more confident you'll feel when someone asks, "What did you do yesterday?"
Once you can tell a few simple sentences, the next step is making your story a little longer.
That's easier than many people think. You don't need difficult vocabulary. You just need to connect one event to the next.
Exactly. Instead of saying, I went to work, you could continue with, after work, I met a friend for coffee. Then I went home and cooked dinner.
Those small details help the listener picture your day. They also make the conversation feel more natural.
Last weekend, I met one of my old classmates. I asked him what he had done the day before. He started with one sentence, but soon he was telling me about a family lunch, a visit to the supermarket, and a football match he watched that evening.
That's a great example. One memory often reminds you of another, so your story grows naturally.
You can also use simple time expressions to organize your ideas. Words like first, then, after that, later, and finally make your story easy to follow.
I use those expressions all the time. They help me speak more smoothly, especially when I'm describing my day.
Another helpful tip is to include one or two small details. Instead of saying, I had lunch, you might say, I had lunch with my coworkers. Or, I tried a new restaurant.
Those details often lead to more questions. Someone might ask what you ate, who you were with, or whether you liked the restaurant.
That's how conversations continue without feeling forced.
And remember, your story doesn't have to be exciting. Most people enjoy hearing about everyday life because it's something we all share.
If you can't remember everything, that's perfectly fine. Just talk about the parts you remember best.
The goal isn't to tell a perfect story. It's to communicate clearly and keep the conversation moving.
So next time someone asks about your yesterday, don't stop after one sentence.
Add a few more details, connect your ideas, and you'll be surprised how easily your conversation grows.
We've talked about building longer stories, but here's something many learners worry about. What if they make a mistake while speaking?
I hear that question all the time. People are often afraid of using the wrong verb or forgetting a word.
It happened to me when I was learning Spanish. One day I wanted to tell my teacher about my weekend, but I mixed up two verbs. I stopped talking because I thought everything was wrong.
What did your teacher say?
She smiled and said, "Don't stop, just keep going." Then she corrected the verb after I finished my story. It was much less stressful than I expected.
That's a great teacher. A small correction is much easier to remember when you're talking about a real experience.
Exactly. If someone says, "Yesterday I go to the park," you can simply help them by saying, "Yesterday I went to the park."
Right. One small change and the sentence becomes correct. There's no need to make learning feel difficult.
I also think it's important to finish your idea before worrying about every little mistake.
I agree. If you stop after every sentence, the conversation becomes much harder to enjoy.
Of course, it's good to learn from corrections. That's how we improve over time.
Yes, but don't expect yourself to speak perfectly from the beginning. Every learner needs practice.
Even today, I sometimes choose the wrong word when I'm speaking another language.
Me too. It happens to everyone, and that's completely normal.
So the next time you tell someone about your yesterday, don't be afraid if one verb isn't perfect.
Say your sentence, listen if someone corrects you, and remember it for next time.
Little by little, those corrections become part of your natural English.
And before long, you'll notice that you're spending less time worrying and more time enjoying the conversation.
So far, we've shared a lot of stories, but conversations become even better when we ask questions, too.
That's true. Instead of talking the whole time, you can invite the other person to share their experience.
One of the easiest questions is, "What did you do yesterday?" Almost everyone can answer it.
And after they answer, you can keep the conversation going with simple follow-up questions.
For example, if someone says, "I stayed home yesterday," you could ask, "Did you watch a movie?" Or, "Did you cook anything?"
Exactly. If they say, "I visited my grandparents," you might ask, "Did you have lunch with them?" Or, "Did you stay there all day?"
These questions are easy to make because they all begin with did.
That's right. After did, the main verb stays in its basic form. We say, "Did you watch?" not "Did you watched?"
The same rule works for negative sentences. You can say, "I didn't go to the gym," or "I didn't cook dinner."
That's a common mistake for beginners. Remember, after didn't use the base verb. Say, "I didn't see him," not "I didn't saw him."
Let's try a short example. Jessica, did you read a book yesterday?
Yes, I did. I read a few chapters before going to bed. Mike, did you exercise yesterday?
No, I didn't. I planned to go for a walk, but it started raining, so I stayed home instead.
See how easy that is? We asked 2 questions, answered them naturally, and learned a few more useful verbs.
You can practice the same way with a friend or even by yourself. Ask a question, answer it, and then ask another one.
After a few minutes, you'll notice you're using the past tense again and again without thinking too much about it.
The more questions you ask, the more chances you have to practice.
So after today's episode, try asking someone about their yesterday. You might end up having a much longer conversation than you expected.
Once you're comfortable with the past tense, you'll notice something interesting. You can use the same grammar to talk about many different parts of your life.
That's right. Yesterday isn't only about work or school. You can talk about hobbies, family, shopping, sports, or even the weather.
For example, yesterday afternoon I spent some time in my garden. I watered my plants and picked a few tomatoes for dinner.
That sounds lovely. My afternoon was completely different. I went to a local bookstore and looked around for nearly an hour. I didn't buy anything, but I found several books I'd like to read later.
See, two very different days, but we're both using the same past tense.
Exactly. That's why this topic is so useful. One grammar pattern works in so many situations.
Let's think of a few more examples. You could say, yesterday I played football with my friends, or I visited my grandparents.
Or maybe, I cleaned my room. I cooked dinner. Or, I watched a comedy after work.
Even a rainy day gives you something to talk about. You might say, it rained all afternoon, so I stayed home and read a magazine.
And if you had a busy day, you could say, I answered a lot of emails, attended 2 meetings, and finished an important report.
The more situations you describe, the more useful vocabulary you'll remember.
And because those experiences are real, they're usually much easier to talk about.
Here's a fun challenge. Choose one part of your yesterday and try adding 2 extra details.
For example, don't just say, I had dinner. Say, I had dinner with my family and we tried a new recipe.
Those small details make your English sound more natural and give people something to ask about.
Before you know it, a short answer becomes a real conversation.
That's exactly what we're practicing today, using simple English to talk about real life.
And every ordinary day gives you another chance to do that.
We've covered a lot today, Jessica. We talked about telling simple stories using past tense verbs, asking questions, and even learning from small mistakes.
And the best part is that you can practice all of those things every single day. You don't need to wait for a special occasion.
Tomorrow, someone might ask you, what did you do yesterday? I hope you'll feel much more ready to answer.
You don't have to tell a long story. Just start with 1 or 2 simple sentences and add a few details if you can.
For example, you could say, yesterday I worked until 5, met a friend for dinner, and watched a movie before bed.
Or maybe, I stayed home, cleaned my apartment, cooked lunch, and called my parents in the evening. That's already a complete answer.
The more you talk about real experiences, the easier these conversations become.
And don't worry if you forget a word or use the wrong verb once in a while. Just keep going and learn from it.
Before we finish, here's a small challenge for everyone listening.
Think about your yesterday and try to describe it in 5 or 6 sentences. Start with the morning, move to the afternoon, and finish with the evening.
If you can say your story out loud, speaking helps you notice which words you already know and which ones you'd like to learn next.
Then, if you have a study partner or a friend, ask them the same question. What did you do yesterday? You can practice together.
We hope today's conversation has helped you feel more comfortable talking about everyday life in English.
And remember the question we started with today. What did you do yesterday? Hopefully, it doesn't feel quite as difficult anymore.
We'd love to hear your answer, so leave 1 or 2 sentences in the comments. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're excited to read your stories.
Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Keep practicing, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.